You have never seen time. You have seen clocks. You have watched sunsets. You have watched people grow older. You have watched one moment become another. And somewhere along the way, you decided that time was moving. But what if it isn't? What if nothing is actually moving through time? What if the universe simply contains events, and your mind experiences them in sequence? Think about a clock. The hands move around the dial. But the clock isn't showing you time itself. It's showing you change. A hand moves. A number changes. One event happens after another. And we call that relationship time. That seems simple. Until Einstein. Relativity tells us that time is not universal. Two observers moving differently can measure different amounts of elapsed time. Gravity can change the rate at which clocks tick. This isn't merely theoretical. Atomic clocks have measured these differences. Even clocks at slightly different elevations can tick at different rates. So there may be no single cosmic clock, silently ticking at the same speed for the entire universe. There are clocks. There are events. There is space-time. But the idea of one universal now is much harder to defend. And this is where physics collides with philosophy. One philosophical position says, only the present exists. The past is gone. The future doesn't exist yet. But another position says something far stranger. Past, present, and future may all be equally real. Imagine your entire life as a book. You are reading one page. That page feels like now. The previous page feels like the past. The next page feels like the future. But the book itself doesn't have to move. Every page simply has its place. This is roughly the intuition behind the philosophical idea known as the block universe, or eternalism. It is not established fact. It is one interpretation of what reality might be like. And if it were true, your childhood wouldn't simply be something that no longer exists. Your future wouldn't necessarily be something that doesn't exist yet. They would be different locations in space-time. Like different places. Rather than different moments. But then comes the strangest question. Why does time feel like it is passing? Why does yesterday feel gone? Why does tomorrow feel unreal? Why does the present feel like a tiny window moving through existence? Perhaps part of the answer lies in consciousness. Your brain remembers what has happened. It anticipates what might happen. And you experience the present between them. Memory behind you. Expectation ahead. Experience in the middle. The feeling of time flowing may therefore be connected to the way a conscious mind organizes change. But that still leaves us with the original mystery. Is time actually flowing? Or are we experiencing a sequence of events, and calling that experience the passage of time? Maybe time is a river. Maybe it's a dimension. Maybe only the present exists. Maybe the entire timeline exists at once. Physics has not given us a final philosophical answer. And perhaps that's what makes time so strange. We spend our entire lives saying, time is running out. But what if time isn't running anywhere? What if the universe isn't traveling from past to present to future? What if we are simply experiencing different moments, one after another? And if that's true, then the clock on your wall isn't counting down the universe. It's only measuring change. So the next time you look at a clock, don't ask, what time is it? Ask something much stranger. What exactly is passing? But there is a problem. If time is not actually flowing, why does it feel like it does? You can remember yesterday. You can imagine tomorrow. But you can only experience one moment right now. That seems to create a direction. Past behind you. Future ahead. Present in between. A river. Always moving forward. But here's something strange. The laws of physics don't always give us a privileged now. Relativity makes the idea of a universal present surprisingly complicated. Two observers can disagree about which distant events are happening at the same time. And neither observer has to be wrong. So if there is no universal cosmic present, what exactly is moving? Perhaps nothing. Perhaps the universe doesn't need to move through time. Perhaps events simply have relationships to one another. One event happens before another. Another happens after it. And consciousness turns those relationships into a story. Think about a movie. A movie appears to move. But the film itself is made of individual frames. Frame after frame. Nothing inside one frame is literally traveling into the next. The motion appears when the frames are experienced in sequence. Now imagine something similar happening with consciousness. Maybe reality doesn't flow. Maybe experience does. And that distinction is enormous. Because if experience creates the feeling of passage, then the sensation of time moving might not be a fundamental property of the universe. It might be a feature of being conscious. But there is an even stranger possibility. What if the future isn't something that is being created? What if it is something that already exists? In a form we simply haven't experienced yet? This is where the block universe becomes disturbing. Imagine a four-dimensional structure containing your entire life. Your childhood. This moment. Your final day. Not as predictions. Not as memories. But as different locations in space-time. You wouldn't be traveling through the structure. Your conscious experience would simply reveal one part after another. Like reading a book. Without changing the book. Again. This is not a proven description of reality. It is a philosophical interpretation. But it creates an uncomfortable question. If your future already exists, in what sense are you creating it? And if your past still exists, in what sense is it truly gone? Maybe the strange thing about time isn't that we don't understand it. Maybe it's that our everyday experience of time may be fundamentally misleading. We feel a moving present. Physics gives us space-time. Philosophy gives us competing interpretations. And consciousness gives us the sensation of a journey. But none of these completely explains why there is a now at all. So perhaps the deepest question isn't, does time exist? It's this, why does reality feel like it's happening? Why is there a present? Why this moment? Why this particular second? Instead of another? And if every moment is simply part of a larger structure, then perhaps your life isn't a journey through time. Perhaps it is a pattern inside time. And consciousness is what makes that pattern feel like a story. You wake up. You remember. You anticipate. You experience. And eventually, you disappear. The clock keeps moving. But maybe the clock was never measuring the flow of time. Maybe it was only measuring change. And perhaps, that's the final glitch. We have spent thousands of years trying to understand where time is going. Maybe, time was never going anywhere. Maybe we were. And if that's true, there is one question we still cannot escape. When you experience the next moment, what exactly makes it next? Fade to black.